So then I say, all right, yeah, Nick Fuentes has no place in the GOP. Well, I'll take all my followers and I'll go to Michigan and we'll do...
Hey, America First lovers. Today we are gonna talk about why Nick Fuentes is absolutely on point with his bold strategy in Michigan for Groyper War II. Nick's call for Groypers not to vote for Trump in Michigan might sound shocking at first, but when you dig into the details, it's clear that this move is not just a brilliant strategy, but a necessary wake-up call for the Trump campaign. We are going to break down the three biggest reasons why Nick is totally justified in shaking things up in Michigan, and why this strategy could be the key to steering Trump back on the right path. So let's dive in and see why Nick's Michigan plan is not just bold, but absolutely spot on. First things first, let's talk about the importance of Michigan. Michigan isn't just any state. It's one of the most critical swing states in the entire country. This state has the power to make or break an election, and everyone who's serious about winning knows it. The Trump campaign is well aware of Michigan's significance, but the way they are currently handling it leaves much to be desired. Enter Nick Fuentes with his strategy to withhold Groyper's votes in Michigan. On the surface, it might seem risky, but when you look at the big picture, it's actually a masterstroke. Nick understands that Michigan is the perfect place to send a strong message to the Trump campaign. By focusing on such a crucial state, Nick is ensuring that his message won't be ignored. The Trump campaign can't afford to lose Michigan, and they know it. This state is one of the few where a relatively small shift in voter turnout can completely change the outcome. Nick's move is a calculated risk, designed to get the attention of Trump's team where it matters most. It's not just about making a statement, it's about leveraging the power of Michigan to force a real change in strategy. Moreover, Michigan has a history of swinging between parties, making it a true battleground. In 2016, Trump won Michigan by a razor-thin margin, and it was a key state in his overall victory. But that victory was no fluke. It was the result of a strong, populist message that resonated with voters. Now, with Susie Wiles and Chris LaChavita pushing Trump to be more moderate, there's a real risk that Michigan could slip away. Nick sees this danger and knows that only a strong, right-wing platform can secure Michigan once again. By withholding votes, he's putting pressure on Trump to return to the winning formula that worked in 2016. The Groypers in Michigan are loyal, but they are also principled. They want a candidate who stands firm on the issues that matter most to them: immigration, trade, and a strong stance against globalism. If Trump's campaign continues to drift toward moderation, those principles are at risk of being compromised. Nick's strategy is a way of reminding the Trump campaign that they can't take these voters for granted. Michigan is too important to be won with a lukewarm, watered-down message. Nick knows that to win Michigan, Trump needs to double down on the issues that brought him victory before, not shy away from them. And let's not forget the optics. By making a bold stand in Michigan, Nick is positioning himself as a leader who isn't afraid to take risks for the sake of his principles. This isn't just about winning one state. It's about showing the entire country that the America First movement is still strong and that it won't back down in the face of compromise. Michigan is the battleground where Nick can make his stand, and the Trump campaign would be wise to take notice. Because in the end, if Trump loses Michigan, he could very well lose the entire election. And that's a risk no one in the America First movement is willing to take. Now, let's talk about Nick Fuentes himself and why his strategy is nothing short of brilliant. Nick isn't just some random political commentator. He's a strategic genius who understands the intricacies of political maneuvering like few others. His plan to withhold votes in Michigan is a perfect example of his ability to think several steps ahead and anticipate the consequences of his actions. This isn't just a knee-jerk reaction, it's a well-thought-out plan designed to achieve maximum impact with precision. Nick's decision to focus on Michigan shows his deep understanding of the political landscape. He knows that in order to make a real difference, you have to hit where it hurts, and Michigan is exactly that kind of pressure point. By telling gropers to withhold their votes in this critical state, Nick is creating a situation where the Trump campaign has no choice but to take his demands seriously. It's a classic case of using leverage to force a change. And it's exactly the kind of bold move that sets Nick apart from the rest. What makes Nick's strategy even more impressive is its creativity. While others might have chosen a more conventional route, Nick opted for a tactic that's as unconventional as it is effective. By focusing on Michigan, he's not only making a statement, but also forcing the Trump campaign to reassess its priorities. It's a move that requires both courage and intelligence, and Nick has plenty of both. This isn't just about playing the game, it's about changing the rules of the game to create a better outcome. Another key aspect of Nick's strategy is his ability to rally his followers around a common cause. The Groypers are a dedicated and loyal group, and Nick's call to action in Michigan has given them a clear mission to rally behind. This isn't just about one man's decision, it's about mobilizing an entire movement to achieve a common goal. Nick's leadership is evident in the way he's able to inspire and direct his followers, ensuring that they remain united and focused on the task at hand. It's this kind of leadership that makes Nick a force to be reckoned with in the political arena. Nick's strategy also demonstrates his deep commitment to the America First principles. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk by taking real, tangible actions to ensure that Trump's campaign stays true to those principles. By withholding votes in Michigan, Nick is sending a clear message that the America First movement will not be compromised. It's a move that shows Nick's dedication to the cause and his willingness to take risks to protect what he believes in. This kind of commitment is rare in politics, and it's what makes Nick's strategy so powerful. In the end, Nick's strategy in Michigan is a masterclass in political maneuvering. It's a move that requires both intelligence and courage, and it's exactly the kind of bold action that's needed to keep the Trump campaign on track. Nick isn't just reacting to the situation, he's actively shaping it, using his strategic brilliance to create a scenario where the America First movement can thrive. It's this kind of forward thinking that makes Nick one of the most influential figures in the movement today, and it's why his Michigan strategy is nothing short of genius. Finally, let's talk about why Nick's actions in Michigan highlight the urgent need for true leadership within the Trump campaign. The current campaign leadership, particularly Susie Wiles and Chris Lachavita, has been leading Trump down a path of moderation and compromise, which is a far cry from the bold, right-wing platform that brought him to victory in 2016. Nick's strategy in Michigan is a direct response to this lack of strong leadership, and it's a wake-up call that the campaign desperately needs. Nick Fuentes understands that true leadership isn't about playing it safe, it's about making tough decisions and taking bold actions to achieve your goals. This is exactly what the Trump campaign is lacking right now. By advising Groypers not to vote in Michigan, Nick is stepping up and filling the leadership void that Wiles and Lachavita have created.
We want Nick! We want Nick! We want Nick!
He's showing that he's willing to take the risks that they are not, and that's exactly the kind of leadership that the America First movement needs right now. One of the biggest problems with the current campaign leadership is their willingness to compromise on key issues. This is especially evident in their approach to immigration and support for Israel, both of which are areas where the campaign has drifted away from its original platform. Nick's strategy in Michigan is a way of saying, enough is enough. It's a demand for the campaign to return to the strong, uncompromising positions that made Trump a force to be reckoned with in the first place. Nick's actions also highlight the need for a leader who is not afraid to go against the grain. Wiles and Lachavita have been playing it safe, trying to appeal to a broader audience by moderating Trump's positions. But as Nick knows, this is a recipe for disaster. The America First movement was built on bold, unapologetic stances, and that's what the base wants to see. By taking a stand in Michigan, Nick is showing that he's not afraid to make the tough calls, even if it means going against the current leadership. Another reason Nick's Michigan strategy is so important is that it sends a clear message to the RNC and the broader conservative movement. The America First base will not be ignored. Nick's decision to withhold votes in such a critical state is a way of forcing the campaign to listen to the concerns of its most loyal supporters. It's a reminder that the base is not just a passive group of voters. They are an active, engaged movement that demands to be heard. In the end, Nick's actions in Michigan are a powerful demonstration of true leadership. He's not just sitting back and waiting for things to change. He's taking bold steps to make sure that they do. Nick's strategy is a clear reminder that the America First movement needs strong, decisive leadership to stay on course. If the Trump campaign wants to win, they need to listen to Nick and take his demands seriously. Because without strong leadership, the campaign risks losing the very base that brought Trump to victory in the first place.
It's not Israel first, it's America first.
I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, as I will continue posting only the best celebrity and K-pop content. This was Watch Wave, and until next time, have a good one.